Spice Island in the Pot is brought to you by Stumpy's Emporium and a Penny Savers supermarket.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Spice Island in the Pot. I am Arlene, your food designer. And if you're joining us for the first time, you're in for a real great treat because here we cook and create amazing meals. Local stuff, gourmet stuff, healthy stuff, not so healthy stuff. And all the ingredients that we use come from right here on the island, so there's no crazy shopping trips. The ideal thing about my show is that all of my cooking methods are really easy to follow, so it's going to be no problem for you to be inspired and get cooking in your kitchen right at home. Let's just get into the awesome goodness that we're making today. Today I'm making stewed beef with macaroni pie, some plain rice, callaloo, and a simple salad. Just like mommy used to make when you had a test and you passed and she wanted to give you like a special lunch. The gourmet twist that we're going to do for that is a cheesy tomato penne pasta with a little steak on the side, roasted bell pepper, and kale salad. So let me get my ingredients together so we can start cooking this amazing meal. So we're going to start with the stewed beef and my seasoning: garlic, pimento or flavor peppers, of course, shadow benny, and spring onion or chive. For my marinade, I'm using a mixture of orange juice and nutmeg. The beef that I'm using, a little beef cubes like this, also known as chuck, which is the upper shoulder arm part of the cow. And we're gonna get into seasoning this right away because I like to leave this to get a little marinade for a little bit. Soak in the seasonings, so we put a little bit of everything. Chive, shadow benny, pimentos, and I cut everything fresh, diced everything except the garlic. That one is minced because I like the colors to show up and I think it's best. Now I have to clear this up. So this is nutmeg. This is the nutmeg in the shell. This is it without the shell. I had an experience with my brother. He was busy grating the shell of the nutmeg, which wouldn't work out. So you have to crack it, which is very easy. You can crack it, let me just show you, with the back of the knife, like so, and you get them out. And then you have the actual nutmeg. So I'm going to grate. Perfect. Just about a half of that nutmeg and your orange juice. Now we're going to do a little salt. This already looks amazing. Lots of colors. A little pepper. And this meal that we're making is quite an extensive spread. So this is something that you could do the night before. Cover your bowl with a little plastic wrap and then leave it overnight. It soaks in all the good flavors by the time it's ready to stew. So I'm starting with this first because of course you don't want to cook the things one at a time and you don't want to cook make the fastest thing first. You want to kind of plan your meal in a way that everything finishes in a timely fashion. So this is all mixed in. So what I'm going to do is put this on there, get the stew going, cover it down, let it simmer, and then I'm going to start on my macaroni pie. That's the second longest thing. Put that in the oven and we'll go from there. So let's head over to the stove and get that sugar browning. Great, so the pot is hot. We're going to get the browning happening. So you need some vegetable oil and brown sugar, of course. Just about a half a cup of brown sugar. And a little more. And if you saw earlier episodes, you'd remember how we made this and it was all bubbly and looking all nice. So that is the same thing that we're looking for this one. So, and this is called browning or burning the sugar. So we're gonna wait. It takes a little while. But I don't advise you walking away from this. This is something like avocado, like it's not ready, and then you go to take a shower and you come back and it's overripe. So you should watch, pay attention, do a little dance, wait. We're all about the nice brown bubbles right now. So this is very close to perfect. So to get my beef in, I'm going to put just the beef in, so just the beef gets brown, and then the marinade that we make, we're gonna add gradually to create gravy eventually. Okay, so this is just about perfect. And please be very, very careful when you do this, because the little water is gonna splash it. And that is a beautiful sound of beef stew. There we go. In all my pieces. This is going to make some really good flavored sauce. So I want to get this going. Stir, stir, stir. This is a really nice color, and you can see all the colors of the peppers and the seasoning in there. There we go. Perfect. So all the brown is going to go around the pot. All that seasoning is going to cook in. There's already a little liquid forming, so I'm going to let this simmer for about 5 to maybe 8 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and create some gravy for this. In the meantime, I'm going to start making my macaroni pie. Yum, 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 with 2 types of cheese. And of course, you know, I always say there's not enough cheese in this world for me, but too much cheese, there's no such thing. So let's go. So let's get started on that macaroni pie. So I'm using elbow pasta. It's 1 pack of the 300-gram size. And I choose to use elbow because I was always tasked with that tedious thing to break up the long macaroni into these tiny little ones for us to make pies. So I think this is a really nice substitution, if you would. Now, typically when you boil pasta, you're looking for it to become kind of white and, you know, not soft, but al dente, as they say, which is, you know, not falling apart, but still together. And when I boiled it, I didn't put any water to run through it. I just kind of left it because I wanted it to be hot so it could get all the cheese and everything melted. So let's start. I have regular cheddar cheese, or shop cheese as a lot of us would know it as. This is about 1.5 cups I will put in here. And it's totally up to you how much cheese you want to put. I'm going to change things up a little bit and put a sharp cheddar to go with this for a little extra flavor. That seems good. Now in my blender, I'm going to do 3 eggs. You want to check the eggs first before you put them in. You don't want to have, you don't want to have a rotten egg accident. So you check them first. That's 2. 2 is here. And 3 is here. I like to put a little color in all of my cooking. So just get rid of this. So I'm going to add some carrots to my macaroni pie. This is just about one medium-sized carrot. A little more flavor. This is some garlic here. I like to put garlic in everything because I think it just makes everything taste much, much better. A few flavor peppers, about 4. Now I'm putting a little salt, just for a little extra, but you don't have to put the salt because the cheese has a degree of salt in there already. I'm going to put a little bit of parsley. And this is for color and for flavor as well. And then evaporated milk, about 1.5 cups. There we go. We're going to blend this up into a nice paste. Okay, so everything is blended up together, and that looks really good already. So this is going to be the colors that are going to be in your macaroni pie, and we just add it to the bowl. Mix, mix, mix. The cheese is going to start to melt already in here. The eggs are there to bind everything together. Milk for richness, cheese for goodness. There's a little carrot, which means there's some vegetable in here, so this is kind of healthy too. And that is already a really, really nice color to have happening. Then it's gonna bake up, melt everything together and be so good. So everything is mixed together evenly. Then this is a bakeware. It's a glass oven dish, oven friendly dish, not a Pyrex. Pyrex is actually the brand. And we here in the Caribbean, we say Pyrex dish a lot, but it's not a Pyrex dish, it's just a brand, like Pampers and diapers. So I'm going to pour this in. And you know, now we have cooking spray available to us. You know when you had to butter that dish? You know, if you're my age, you know all the tedious things you had to do in the kitchen to help your mother out. But actually spraying the dishes could be just as fun for your kids. It's a nice way to get them involved in the kitchen and teach them a thing or two. They could watch the show with you and learn some stuff too. And then you would have Mother's Day breakfast covered. So this fits perfectly in here. And this is a 9.5 rectangle dish. All of my colors are coming through really nicely in this. So just put this here. And of course, for the grand finale, more cheese, of course. Cheese, 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 nice and shredded. Now, you can do this before. Usually when I buy cheese, I shred all of them and put them in separate containers, and I just have them available so that I don't have to do it every time. So I'm gonna put the 2 types on top here. You can stick to one type of cheese if that's how you like it. That's good too. So there. So that is gonna get golden brown on top and melt down into all the goodness. I'm doing this now so that by the time it bakes up and it comes out of the oven, our callaloo and all of that would be happening, so the meal comes together at the right time. I'm preheating my oven at 350 degrees. I'm going to put this in and start to make my callaloo. As I am a cook of convenience, I'm not going to go through the whole process of making everything from scratch because we have wonderful companies like this one that make them pre-packaged. So we're going to open this up, see what's in here. So we just have 1 Dutch pot. That's all you need for this. And callaloo is like a thick soup, kind of used as a gravy type of thing. It's like a 1 pot. And these packs are really good. You can pick them up at any Penny Savers location. You get everything in there, everything. So we have pumpkin. Because callaloo has to be blended at the end and it's really just like a whole slow cook down process, you can put the ingredients in whole. So there's some okras in here that's pre-cut already. There's some carrots. There's also some pimentos I see. And of course, dasheen bush. Now I had a conversation with a young lady that I was very surprised at. So let's just clear this up. So these are the dasheen leaves. This is a dasheen. So this part goes below the ground. This is on top, so we get to use the whole plant. And it is used to make callaloo. So callaloo bush is not different from dasheen bush. But you know, here we just rename everything as we go along. So just to clear that up, dasheen bush is used to make callaloo. So callaloo bush and dasheen bush is the same thing, just to clear that up. So we have everything in the pot here, and this is going to cook all the way down. So even if your pot is filled to capacity, it's going to cook down. You don't have to worry about that. But I like to add my own extra stuff. So I'm going to put a little bit of chive. I'm going to put 2 extra pimentos and a few cloves of garlic, about 4 or 5. A little salt for flavor. Now, usually you put 1 hot pepper, a Scotch bonnet. The key thing is to make sure that your pepper is perfect. Any holes, and then the whole callaloo is super spicy and you won't be able to enjoy it as much. So you want to check to make sure that it's a good whole Scotch bonnet, and you have to take it away before you blend the callaloo. I made that mistake once and it was really, really bad. So coconut milk is what we're going to cook this down in, and the average for this is half of what the pot is filled with. So depending on the pack that you have, how much bush you get, would determine how much milk you use. You just want to fill it like halfway. You can look down in the pot there and see. And if you need to add any other liquid, then it's a little water. But I would say wait till the very last minute or when you're blending it to get that. So then you just cover this up. Nice and tight, medium heat, and just let it cook and simmer and do its thing. So I'm going to put this up on the stove and we'll be right back for sure. So while the beef is stewing down nicely on the stove and the callaloo is cooking down as well, pie is smelling up the whole place, doing its thing in the oven, we're going to do the salad. So everybody is familiar with this salad. It is the basic salad that we all grew up on. This is the only salad that we knew in the house. So it's just simple: lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, salt, and black pepper. And I remember when black pepper was a premium in any household. We just didn't have black pepper just like that all the time. So I'm just going to give this a nice cut. And this is local organic lettuce. Buy them from any of the shops. Put that there. Just a few leaves that I washed and cut them. And you don't want to squeeze the lettuce because then it gets really black edges and it doesn't look as nice and fluffy. So we did that. Good. And then we have some cucumbers. There we go. Down the center, leaving the seeds and everything, just cutting off the ends right there, and slice, slice, slice. Everybody got a little salad in their plates, and you had to eat this salad. Now, salad is full of adventure, and that's some of the adventure we're gonna do here on this show. So we have cucumbers going, jump, 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 jump. One is enough. Tomatoes, same thing, half, and then these little slices. Before there was all this fancy food art, this is the only slice that you would know. Down the center and slice on the side. Now we have all this variety of shapes, sizes, different types of greens, different vegetables, different ways, different salad dressing. But today we're just keeping it old school, basic. And sometimes when I go to my mother's house and she cooks just those things that we used to have long ago, just makes me feel so remembering of childhood and how easy it was. So we have lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers into this. It's some salt over everything. And some black pepper, the premium ingredient in this case, over everything. And then you just give it a little toss on the side like this. Everybody's familiar with this. It's like the easiest salad and salad dressing built in already. All right, this is nicely plated here. And this is our salad for the rest of our meal. So we're gonna be right back, checking on that beef, checking on that callaloo, getting the pie out of the oven, and getting ready to eat, of course. Okay, so our stew beef is all done, smells good. I added green peppers and carrots to make it a little nice and fresh. And of course the pie is golden brown and just came out of the oven. So we're gonna blend the callaloo. So this is what it looks like when it is all cooked down, nice and thick and almost creamy. So don't forget to remove your Scotch bonnet pepper because you don't want everything to be super spicy. If you have a hand blender, you can do that. This other blender works just fine as well. So you're gonna scoop this in there. Scoop, scoop, scoop. And you're just gonna pulse it. Now some people, like my uncle, he likes to eat his callaloo just like this. He doesn't like it blended at all, at all. So we take his own out, then we blend ours. Good, so all this in there, and we're just going to pulse this. Pulse, 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 pulse. Give it a little, oops, sorry. It's a little tight. Right, and just give it a little mix there, because you don't want it to be too runny. You know, this is a nice, thick gravy-like dish. Right, so 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Easy like that. Get this down to here. Oh, look at that, so good. creamy. So now we have everything. Everything is beautifully done and in front of us. We're gonna start placing up. I have some plain white rice. I think goes really well with this meal. Right here. There we go. And a little salad. You know, that long time salad with just the salt and the premium black pepper. Just there. A little callaloo for me. Right there, nice green. This was really some good dasheen bush, really nice. Let's make some space to get into this macaroni pie. I know everybody likes the corner. So we get a nice cut like this. Get it off from the sides of the dish. And then scoop. Oh, perfect. There we go. And the finale, the stew beef. So you can see the green pepper is cooked down, giving it a really nice aroma. Carrots, everything. And I want a little bit of everything. There we go. That plate looks lovely. Perfect. Everything smells good, looks good. Let me make sure that it tastes good. There we go. A little rice and callaloo. That callaloo is just creamy enough. Not at all spicy, but more sweet from that coconut milk. Macaroni pie. Cheesy and good. Well seasoned, not too much salt. And of course the beef, I'm tasting it in parts because everything is so good. Sweet, tender. The carrots are not too soft in here. Still has a little crunch to it. We did such a good job. So join me in trying this. Coming up next, we're gonna have the gourmet twist, cheesy penne pasta in tomato sauce with steak. And we're serving that up with roasted bell pepper and kale salad. We'll be right back.